So the things that stood out to me the most from the last 3 days were definitely the values assessments. You're given the test to really assess what your values are, and then you're asked to evaluate that against how you're spending your time and how you're using the energy that you have. And it's really important to have your values and your time and your energy be aligning, because we've been given these values. There's things that are pressed on our hearts that are really important to us, and the test helps you discover what those things are, but also helps you discover how you're using your life.
The value here, you can't put a price on it. The value I got out of these 3 days, although exhausting, although sometimes trying because you have to get really intimate with yourself, it was the best 3 days that I've spent on BARB in a really long time.
I would definitely recommend this to people who aren't sure, because when you leave, you may not have all the answers, but you'll be sure of where to get them. And you'll know some new things about yourself that'll help you get to where you need to be as far as figuring out yourself and interacting with other people. I think this is going to pan out to be a really powerful tool in helping me know how to adjust myself. So a lot of people want to learn about these types of profiles so they can figure out other people, and it's never about that because you can't change other people. So it's better to learn about yourself and figure out how you can adjust, because that's the part that you can control. And hopefully the other person's doing the same thing, but if they're not, then you at least know that you're making some headway with what you can do with yourself.
What was particularly cool, I thought, was the quality of the other participants, and between Ken and the other people in the room, the other attendants, the other students. It was an excellent mix, and the way I like to phrase it when asked before was that if you want to soar with eagles, come here.
I think it's really go in with an open mind, bring your best self forward. There's a lot of opportunity to invest into the conversation. The content is rich, the concepts are simple enough, yet there's a lot of background and research that goes into it that really helps to enhance the content. And if you invest in it, I think there's a lot that you can get out of it.
For me, that's another thing that I really want to embrace from the PSI, is to understand other people, where they come from. So understanding their perspective. I always believe that I could be looking at the exact same thing as someone else. We could be hearing the same words, but how we take those words in are very different depending on our perspective and our lens at the time. So for me, that was very important for me to learn and to use and apply.
So I wasn't really sure what to expect, but when I came in and interacted with different people, one big takeaway for me, and I knew this on a cognitive level, was that we're all different. I did not realize that everyone was different when it came to buying and selling, specifically buying. I thought that all buyers would want to have factual data and a lot of details. And so my selling style has been true to my profile, which is a high C, and that's to throw data at people. And so I've got to go back and do some work to understand buyers of different profiles. It was unfathomable to me that people would buy any differently than I do. It just seemed logical to me, so that was a big epiphany for me.
The CRG model, it doesn't peg you into a certain category. It acknowledges you as the whole person. And for the first time in a long time, I felt validated that, you know what? I know what I'm doing it well, but I'm going to be doing it even better upon returning to work.
I'm an alumni. It's actually my 3rd time back. I wish now that I'd come back a lot sooner. But I would tell others that are in my position where they have, especially those that have done this before and say, well, I've done that. I would say don't be satisfied with that for yourself. Come back as an alumni. CRG treats alumni very fairly, so you can come back and enjoy the journey and then go deeper and find that other area that maybe you haven't spent as much time on and take that to the next level?
I think it literally is life-changing, whether it changes your life 1% or 100%. That's a good thing. You're moving in the right direction, and I came away with much more value than I had ever imagined. I have new friends, I've got a plan, and a roadmap to a purpose.
This 3-day course really pulls out of you what is important to you, what your purpose is, but also how to relate and how to love and serve those around you and how to understand people better. And I think that by coming to this 3-day course, your life is so enriched because of these tools, and they're tools that you can directly apply to your life, in your family life, in your professional life, in all aspects. You're just going to be able to connect with people in a deeper way and know yourself better.
I was interested in the value questionnaire because it makes sense for us in Europe and was immediately applicable.
So during the PMAC, these 3 days, I just find it very transformative. I mean, the content was amazing. It shocked me how amazing the approach of looking at personality traits and personal development through a holistic view. I mean, he covered from understanding yourself, understanding your own values, to how you would behave, how you would connect with a job, how you can determine your team members, your employees, the people you work with, how can you work with them the most effective way, understand them the most effective way, and how to create a productive environment.
After the third day, for sure, you will never be sorry that you spent 3 days on yourself, discovering more about yourself so that you can help others discover more about themselves. So this 3 days, I think, is a life-enriching experience.